Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, everyone. This semester, we have been having a period of learning about different classroom response systems available at KFUPM. Today's session focuses on Mentimeter to learn how to use Mentimeter to enhance teaching, foster student engagement, and create a dynamic classroom environment. We have today with us Shipra Maini, who is a relationship manager at Mentimeter. She's originally from India, but today she's joining us from Stockholm, Sweden. So thank you, Shipra, for your time to guide and inspire the faculty at KFUPM to use Mentimeter to enhance student learning in classroom. Please take charge of the session to introduce us to the features and functionalities of Mentimeter.
Thank you, Professor Junaid. Thank you a lot. Hello and welcome everyone to today's session. Today's session is all about getting started with Mentimeter for all of you. My name is Shipra and I am based in Stockholm, Sweden, but I'm from India. And it's been 8 years living in Sweden, but so that means I can't complain about the dark winters and cold anymore. But yeah, that's about me. Feel free to join to my presentation. We'll do all things Mentimeter today. So you're please welcome to join my presentation. You can either scan this QR code that you see here using your mobile camera. It will give you a link to join, or you can go to your desktop and go to menti.com and put this code up here, which is 66118755. And once you're in the presentation, you can either give me a thumbs up once you're there, so I know that you've joined the presentation. You'll get the recording and the slides after this presentation, after this webinar today. And this whole Menti presentation today is open with questions. So you can ask questions anytime during the presentation to me. I will take some pauses throughout the session to make sure that I answer the questions. But it'll be good any point whenever you have a question, don't reserve it for the end, put it in the question. You see a question tab in your screen once you get connected to my presentation. You can, somebody of you can also try to send a test question also to see how it looks like. So you see down there, I've got some hearts. I've also got, I know that 10 people have joined my presentation today, 11 now, 4 hearts. Good to see that people are finding their way to connect to the presentation. And I see they're testing a question. Wonderful. You know how it works there, and I can see this question. And if I click as answered, it's answered there. But it will still be there. So the question is not going to disappear once I've answered. It'll still be there, but it'll have a tab called answered on it. Nice. So I think we have 12 people that are connected to the presentation. Should we start right away, Professor Junaid, or should we wait for some more people to?
Yeah, I think we have enough. Maybe 4 people need to join. If anyone has any question about how to join, you can leave a comment in Zoom's chat area and we can help you.
Yeah. Nice. So going forward, first of all, I want to ask you, what is your experience with Mentimeter? Is it that you use Mentimeter all the time, or you've used it a few times, or you're only a participant, or this is your first ever Menti experience? So you see here on the right hand side, I know there are 13 people who are connected to my presentation, but I also see how many people have responded to my presentation. So and you see that I have hidden my responses. So there's a keyboard shortcut called H, which I've pressed. And this is basically to avoid, bias of answers in the session. So sometimes when I have the responses shown to the audience, people respond according to what others have responded. So I want some honest answers here. So I've hidden the responses, but this icon on the right here shows me when's the right time to unhide the responses. So now I think I've got 9 responses out of 13 people. So now is a good time that I can show what it is. So, okay, nice. So, this is a first ever Menti experience for six of you. And there's one person who've used Menti a few times. There are two that have voted on a Menti presentation but never presented, I guess. Good to see. So, I think my presentation today is designed for a beginner kind of a session. So, it very well aligns with what you responded here. I like it. Nice. So going forward, so what is the agenda that we're going to cover today? So we're first going to discuss what's the power of Mentimeter. What are the common challenges for university educators? But just to give you a background, I work as a relationship manager here at Mentimeter, and I work with almost across over 100 universities in the EMEA region. So I'm daily in talks with a lot of university educators talking about their challenges. And then I'm going to give you how and what inspiration and solutions Mentimeter can provide you to these challenges. And in the end, I'm going to give you a bit of platform walkthrough as well. And as I said, please feel free to input your questions as we go along the presentation. So, what is Mentimeter? So, Mentimeter is an audience interaction platform. It's not a polling tool. It's not a gaming tool. It's a full integrated audience interaction platform, and it is anonymous by default. Um, it's a platform for easily gathering input from a group and then visualizing it clearly and beautifully in real time, as you might have seen it so far, and then saving and sharing these insights for later. So you don't have to click anywhere to save the results. They're auto saved, and then once you're done with your session, you can then have a you can analyze your results and do a data driven approach next time when you do a session. It supports the educators basically to facilitate active learning in the sessions, asking questions, keeping the students engaged in the session, and also leverage the student insights to maximize the teaching potential. So, using these insights and data driven approaches to better your teaching strategies in the sessions. And as I said before, Mentimeter is anonymous, so it equalizes the opportunity for student participations. We all have seen that in some of the sessions, the louder the student voices are, some students are a bit more comfortable to share their thoughts and honest opinions in the sessions, but some are not. So then with a tool like Mentimeter, in the session you give an equal opportunity to all the students to basically connect with you and also give their honest feedback. Moving forward, so we'll look at some of the common challenges for educators these days. But first of all, I want to ask you, as university educators, which of the following challenges do you experience as an educator? Is it students keeping students engaged in the session, understanding their students' knowledge levels, adapting to various student needs, keeping up with technological advancements, or is it something else that you have in mind, which is not covered in these four options that I have here? As again, you see that I've hidden the responses because I don't want all of you to input the responses based on other people's responses. So I want to avoid the biasness here. So that is why I have hidden the responses using the keyboard shortcut H here. But if you have joined this presentation new here, if you have, so you can go to menti.com and use this code up top here, 66118755, to connect to my presentation. There's 7 people who have responded. Can we somehow increase this number? I have a feeling that the others are not responding. Is it any problem responding to my presentation or something? Please feel free to voice it over in the call as well. Nice. We have got 10 responses. So I'm going to unhide it here and show it. Just a second. Okay, so keeping students engaged is the top answer here. So that is the most that is the common something that we get here, is that is the challenge that you see as an educator the most on your list. And then comes a few people have responded on student needs, understanding student levels. And there's also something else. I'm wondering what that is. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave an open-ended question here for you to input if there's something else on top of your mind as a challenge that you feel as an university educator that in these days of teaching, if you want to input something here. I also see a question, so I'm going to take in the something else, combination of the above. Okay, I get it. So it's yeah. I get what you're trying to say here. It's mostly this and that and this and that that we feel these days. Nice. So I'm gonna move ahead. So what, as I said, I also work with almost 100 plus universities and daily interaction. So this is also what I feel is keeping students engaged is the top challenge that I've heard from university educators in my interactions. So this is basically engaging in interaction with students in large lecture halls and also in different setups also. So sometimes we have remote teaching, sometimes we have online and hybrid teachings. So it's very difficult to keep the students engaged and also maintain their student focus. And these days we live in a world where the attention span is very less. So we all know that it's getting even more difficult, and a human brain also has a capacity to grasp only a limited amount. So I highly recommend that with the use of tools like Mentimeter, you take some natural pauses in the sessions, and then that also keeps the students engaged. Understanding the knowledge levels is the next one. So, continuously assessing students' understanding before exams. And what we feel is that many universities, I know they have end of course evaluations. And once those are conducted, it's a bit too late to adopt because, of course, the course has already ended. Of course, they can adopt to the next set of students, but not for the ones that are already in there. So we've seen that educators have a bit of challenge in continuously assessing students understanding, specifically before summative assessments. And then varying students need, it's very difficult to get an insight into variations in the prior knowledge levels, what are their motivation levels, what is the learning style, because of diverse background of students. So it's difficult to tap into this as well. And then of course in the end comes the technological advancement and so many tools that are there available for the university educators these days. But today's session, we're going to learn to see how Mentimeter basically can help you overcome some of these challenges. So, keeping students engaged, we start with that, and I'm going to give you some examples. And I would love for you to give me input on these question as well as we go through these different slide types. So first is connect the dots with more dots. So this is basically a pin on image slide type in Mentimeter, where basically you ask the responses from the students and they work in they basically collaborate on something. So this is also one way to keeping the student engaged, and this is also a very good icebreaker also. So if you start a session, you start with something fun, you start with something interesting, so that students attention are drawn towards the class. So let's see, as the more dots come, let's see what are we trying to make. Is this an animal? Is this something else? Let's see. You can simply, once you go to this, connect to my presentation, you can simply put a dot somewhere and try to see if you can make some, maybe a dinosaur, a T-Rex or something here. Nice. I think it's starting to look like something. Maybe we're missing a bit on the head part. Interesting. So this is a good, and this is also used in a variety of use cases basically. So I have seen some biology teachers using this as a like a image of a organ and asking the students where is the fracture, where is this nerve, so they pin on that area of the image. I've also seen professors basically starting the class with, let's say, anything like a world map, like what is your dream study destination, so they pin their location on the map, on a world map. So like the imagination is unlimited here. You can use this in a variety of slide in a use cases, and take any image and ask them to basically pin on that image. Nice. I'm not sure if this looks like a dinosaur actually, but okay, we'll we'll do with that one. And also, this is an open-ended slide type. So this is also, you can basically keep the student engaged and basically ask them to give you, connect with you during the session. Is that what is the most interested or unexpected thing you've learned so far in this course? So you can ask this question to your students. And in this case here, I will ask you to give me some responses because I'm going to show you some very interesting feature with this one here. So you can give me some random answers, or maybe connected to what we are doing in this session today. You can also give me that what's the most interesting thing you've learned about Mentimeter so far, and or maybe in particular in this session. So you see here, this is an open-ended slide type in Mentimeter where you can give responses in literally an open-ended type. And more the number of responses you get, it's better to analyze in with AI. So with artificial intelligence, we have something here. But for that, the minimum responses we can have on the screen is 10. And then we can use the AI functionality to basically do some magic here. So I'm going to ask you to give me some more answers here, maybe 2 or 3 more answers here. The icebreaker approach, you liked it. Responses are anonymous. Yes, you can see. Hoping to learn how to use it and master the art. I hope you do that. I'm going to take you to the tool as well and show you how to create the slides. That you've picked up a slight Swedish accent. Okay, I don't know if Swedes do have some accent. They speak. I'm not sure. I speak Swedish actually, but I'm not sure if I have the accent. Connecting the dots idea seems interesting. Sorry, could not get the dots to work. It's okay. We that was a bit of difficult task to make it. It's supposedly, if you have a big group of audience, then I have seen that it takes a very T-Rex kind of a shape. That's interesting to see. One more response, please. We have 17 people connected to my presentation, but somehow the response rate is could be better. Let me know if you have any problems responding to the slides. I'm going to take this question. Okay, this was the one. Looks like Godzilla. Not sure. Nice. Yes, I'm going to give you the QR code with a simple keyboard shortcut, which is I. And I'm going to give some responses myself. Let's see if we can make it to 10. I'm going to give something. So what happens is when you have more than 10 responses, is there's something, if we can get somehow more than like one more response, then we get a AI functionality here. So you see, as soon as the 11th response came here, I can see something down here which is called press space to group responses. So for this functionality, this is an AI generated feature basically. We need minimum 10 responses, and this works beautifully in classroom, like in sessions where you have like a large lecture hall or many students responding to your question type. Then it becomes very difficult for the presenter to scroll through these options and go one by one. What you can do instead is you can just press groups here, and then it groups into different categories here. So you see that what's the most interesting thing you've learned is feedback. Students can give some feedback. Icebreaker thing that you've learned, that Mentimeter is anonymous, and the dots, that the ice pin on image, that thing that you were responding to. And now it's a very beautiful visualization of how you can visualize different responses in one format. And then you can also go into each categories as well, and you can see that, okay, if this answer maybe does not fit into this category, you can just simply click on that one and you can change the category, or you can even add a new group in there. So this is how you basically use the AI functionality to basically group the responses into different categories if you have a large number of responses on the screen. Nice, but we go back and I press space again to hide the groups, and then we go to the next slide. And this is my favorite basically tip that I can give you is ask the students to upvote questions. So if you are in a session where you have a lot of questions from students, then the best way to even get the students engaged or also active all the time in the session is they can always see what are the other questions that other students have asked. So when they are connected to your presentation, they can always see something called open Q&A here. And when they open the Q&A, they can see other students' questions, and then they can also upvote those questions. So if they think that they also have that question in their mind, they can simply click on that one, upvote, and then in the end, it will show how many students have upvoted this question. So it also, for you as a presenter also, it becomes very important for you to first answer the most prioritized, most upvoted question in the session, and it's also the most relevant questions. So this is also one way to always keep students engaged in the session and also make them also active in the session. And also it's a two-way, you're doing it a two-way communication rather than just one way of presenting. One of my favorite tips. So next, going forward, we look into how basically you can understand the different knowledge levels in the class using Mentimeter. And I'm going to give you some examples here. So this is a ranking question, basically, where you can ask your students anything. Here, example, I have shown you how would you rate your knowledge in the following areas. And basically, you have 4 options where you rank these. You can have any number of options here. So pedagogy, research and subject expertise, digital tools and educational technology, or student guidance and mentorship. How do you rate these basically in the following your knowledge in this? So this is also gives the presenter and the professor here in this case a good understanding of, okay, what are we lacking, what do we need to prioritize in the class, basically what is that the students want the most guidance from your side. So that gives you a bit of understanding into their knowledge levels, maybe before the exams or something you can do this thing. So right now we see that we have received responses from 5 of you, and right now the digital tools and educational technology is the area that you have the most knowledge into, but maybe you would need some extra guidance in student guidance and mentorship there. So this is how basically you can assess the different knowledge levels in the classroom sessions. And you see, as we get more responses, the different ranks also change. Nice. So now digital tools has come into second place, but research and subject expertise has taken on the lead here. Another slide type that you can also, and also one of the interesting things that we can do with different question types is, this is a multiple choice question. So this is a question where basically I'm going to show you in the next slide how we can basically link two multiple choice questions, and how we can take a data driven approach here to basically segment your audience here. So my first question is, are you keeping up with the course? So Five of us, five of you are, yes, some of you are not keeping up with the session, and one person is not sure. If you have, if five of these people, if they can put in the questions of what is it that they're not able to keep up with this session today, it will help me deliver the exact thing that you're wanting to see here. And then if we move on to the next slide, I have one more multiple choice question, which is there anything that is missing from your learning experience? So is it more personal feedback? Is it more exercises? Is it additional resources that you want from, or is it something else? So now, as you have your responses here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the extreme left side here, and I have something called show segmentation. And if I click on that, it shows me that I have three multiple choice question in this whole presentation, and it's asking me with which question do I want to segment this answers basically. And if I click on the second question, are you keeping up with the course, which I asked you in the previous slide, it gives me segmented responses. So I can see that uh, the people that said they are keeping up with the course, they want, some of the majority of them want more exercises and quiz. And people that they said they're not keeping up with the course, majority of them also want some more exercises and quiz. So it's a very clear direction for me as a presenter, is that I should be involving more exercises and quiz in my session going forward. So this is basically how you can segment two multiple choice question, and also take a very data driven approach to what the audience is wanting from you here. Is there any doubt or any question on how to use this? Put it in the question here, and it's simply by clicking on here showing segmentation, and then once you click on that, it's ask you which question do you want to segment it, basically. And it's a very beautiful illustration also, that within simply during while you're presenting, you can do all these data relations and get a very clear picture of what is it that the audience is trying to see from you. Nice. So this is a segmentation feature, and is basically how you connect two multiple choice question and the responses. Now, going forward, we look into varying student needs and some examples. So the best slide type that you can use here is scales. So you basically scales them on two different, from strongly disagree to strongly agree. You can change these also. You can change this from 0 to 10, 0 to 5, 0 to 100. You can change these extremes however you want. So I have hit here from strongly disagree to strongly agree. And this is basically to understand what is the learning style and what are their motivation levels that they expect, that they have basically in the as a student. So some learn best by seeing and analyzing visual representation of information. Some enjoy working independently and at my own pace when learn something new. And I learn best by discussing and sharing ideas with other students. So this is a scale basically where I'm asking you to basically share your learning style in this question type, from a scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree here. And I see you see that you have like an average score here. So 3.6, 3.6, 3.4 here. But if I hover over this information here, I can also see the individual representation also here. So I think three people have responded on strongly disagree, and there are seven who strongly agree. So I can also get the individual assessment also here, and I can also get the average responses here. So it's about hovering over to each one of them and see how is the distribution on each scale type basically. So this is a good way of getting an understanding of what are the students' needs and what are their motivation styles and what is their learning needs. So I see that more and more people are connecting to the presentation. I like it. And I'm going to just take a quick pause and take this question. Could we export the collected data as Excel file? Absolutely. You can download it as a PDF or as an Excel. I'm going to show you in a quick while when I will go into the platform walkthrough. If we go into the next one, so next one is technological advancements. Of course, I know a lot of you have questions and a lot of you have questions around PowerPoint and Mentimeter. And if you have a lot of stuff already in PowerPoint, how do you take it to Mentimeter and all of that? We'll cover all of that in a quick second when I give you the platform walkthrough. And we also have a full guide here. So there are two ways of using this integration. Either you do everything in Mentimeter and you get your PowerPoint within Mentimeter, or if you're working in PowerPoint and you want to incorporate your Mentimeter slides within PowerPoint. So the connection is live both ways. And there's a full guide here. So of course, I'm going to send you this presentation after this webinar session, and then you can access the full guide there. So yes, platform walkthrough. I'm going to show you how to create a presentation and collaborate and display the results and also export the results as somebody asked here. So I'm going to click on escape here, and this is where basically all the magic happens. So this is, you have all the slides on the extreme left, and then you do everything on the middle, and then you have the different options on the right hand side here. So if I basically click on new slide here, so it gives me a lot of options. And if I just hover over on these one, it gives me like an idea of how it would look like. So if I see, okay, the word cloud looks like this. Okay, so open-ended looks like this. Scales type look like this. So without even clicking on that question, you can see how it will, how you can also, you can simply visualize how it would look like. So you have different types, some of which I've already shown you, especially multiple choice, open-ended, scales, ranking. I've already shown you. You also have quiz functionality within Mentimeter, wherein basically you can simply, there are two options for you. Is it you either select an answer out of different options that you've given, or you type the answer. So if we just take the first one here, and I am simply gonna like, which is not a planet in the solar system, let's see. And then you have all the edits here. So in the option 1, I can put like Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Mars. You can put different options here. You have to put one as the correct one. You can choose how many seconds do you want to give your audience to answer. I think 15 seconds is too much. I want to reduce it to, let's say, 10 seconds. There's a leaderboard that's automatically generated in the quiz after that. So if you have multiple questions, let's say 10, or you can add a leaderboard in the end also, rather than just after every question. But I have just one question here, so I want to have a leaderboard here. If you want, you can enable quiz music also, and you can also more points for fast correct answers if you want, or if you want just like whoever has given correct answer, that gets a similar point. So you can also get this on and off as well. Nice. So you have these, and you can also add more options as well. So it's as simple as that, creating a quiz or something like that. You don't have to worry about the font or something. It will all turn out beautifully once you do that. Nice. And you simply just click on present here, and then you have this one. So it asks you to basically give you a name, and then you get simply get connected to the presentation. Nice. And then you have more questions here. So rather than using these interactive questions, you can also use different, just a second. the Zoom tab is coming in between. You also have content slides, so you also have text slides that you can create, and it's a beautiful where you have different heading, subheading, body, quote, small text. So it all is there, so you can choose what you want to write here. And if you want to have bullets, if you want to have subheadings and all of that, uh, you also have image slide, you also have video slides, and then you have these integrations down here. So we have integrations right now with Google Slides, PowerPoint, and Miro here. So you can actually get your PowerPoint slides within Mentimeter while you are in the Mentimeter platform. There's a whole video for that. So it's you have to put a link to your PowerPoint presentation, and if you need help with the link, you don't have to go to any help articles. There's already a very quick demo as to how you can do it right within the editing mode itself. So basically you go to PowerPoint web, you find your presentation, and in there you basically go to file, share, embed, and then you click in the bottom right corner, and there you have the embed code that you basically put it in here in this field. And once you put that code in here, your PowerPoint slides will reflect within Mentimeter itself. We have this quiz leaderboard from previous. Yes, and this is basically right now by default, it's in the presentation mode. So once I click here, you see, this is basically a presentation mode. Like I am controlling the pace of the presentation, but if you want to send it as a survey, you can also send it as a survey. Why it's not showing for me that I cannot send it as a survey, because you cannot send quiz as a survey. Quizzes are all real time. But if I just delete this slide that I just created with you, and if I click on that, I can, sorry, I'll have to maybe refresh it. Then I can also send it as a survey as well. So it's as simple as that, sending a survey with Mentimeter. You just have to change the mode to survey. And then once you send the link to your students, they can respond at their own pace. So they can move forward and backward in the presentation at their own pace and time. So it's as simple as that. And you also have language preferences where, in the sessions, we get this question a lot, especially in universities, of students using some bad language and some bad words in the session. So you have the profanity filter. You can select in your language that you would want, and then that's how you can avoid some content the students can post as something which is not relevant for the session. You also have accessibility here, that you can check the overall accessibility score for your presentation. This is something which is very unique in Mentimeter that you would not find in other tools, basically. You can see that my presentation has some issues here. It shows me that the text does not have enough contrast on this slide, and then I don't have the alt text for images in these slides. So it's asking me to change that. So quickly, just by the click of here, you can see how accessible your presentation is. Any questions? I'm going to quickly go into the present mode and see if I have some burning questions that I should take right away. Why this tab is not moving? Yes. The quiz option assigns random images, avatars to each student. Some of the images might be offensive. Can we disable them or give them the ability to customize them? No, actually, the avatars are random, but they can choose their own name. The system gives them an automatic name, a random name, but they can change the name. But I'm not sure. No, the avatar cannot be changed. I'll mark it as answered here. Could we export? Yeah, I'm going to quickly show you how to do that in a quick while. I'm going to mark it as an how do you ensure unique responses only? can you please elaborate which, what do you mean by unique responses? Which, what is the context of this question? I didn't understand actually. What do you, and how do you ensure unique responses?
I think it means that, one person can join multiple times. How
Aha,
does
okay. From one device, you can only join one time actually. Hmm? I'll mark it as answered. I expect the same person can join in different browsers more than. Yes, that is possible. With one device they can only join once. But if you want, you can basically uh, turn on the identified responses basically. So you will have to ask their the student will have to in question here, they will have to put their name basically to get associated with their presentation. So if you want to control that, you can turn on the feature which is called identified participants. I'll quickly show you how to do that. The quiz, this is all answered. Nice. I'm gonna again go into the edit mode. And the question on exporting results, you see that once I am in the edit mode, this is the create, and next to the create it says results basically. And if I click on results, as I told you, this presentation is anonymous. You can also verify it from here that it's simply there is no names here. And then you can have an overview of how much was the participation, how many questions you've got, and what was the participation on each slide and each question types that I used basically. And then you can also export it in the form of you can either download it or as a PDF, or you can also export it to Excel as well, and then you can analyze the results there. Or you can either download for the whole presentation, or you can also choose different some particular slides as well. So I hope that answers your question on downloading and exporting the results. And if you use this same presentation again in one more session, you can reset the results. So then it will show you the results as session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4. So once you reset the results, those responses for session 1 will not be deleted, it will be saved, but it will give you different sessions. So you can use the same presentations over and over and again in different sessions and in different student groups as well. Nice. There was one more question on identified participants. Sorry. So I am here in my presentation, and as I told you, this is anonymous. But what you can do is you can turn on the participant names also. So right now, I'm not able to change it because this is set, or done on a subscription level. So right now, for the whole of the subscription that I'm a part of, I'm not able to ask for participants' name. But if your um, subscription owners, Sananala and Professor Junaid, if they turn it on, you can ask for student names in the sessions, and then this will be enabled for you. Of course, this will not be enabled by default. You'll have to go and change it if you want, but by default, Mentimeter is and will always be anonymous. But if you want to ask the participant names just to make sure that you don't have duplicate responses, you can turn this on as well. Nice. You can also add somebody as the collaborator in your presentation. So if you want somebody else to come and edit this presentation along with you, you can simply click on. So you see I have my credentials here up on the top. So if I click on plus, I can add somebody as the collaborator along with me. So I have here my colleague Matthias. If I want, I can basically add him as the collaborator. And if I want to invite somebody else, I just have to put their email address here, the mentee email address, and I can choose if I want to give them, which access do I want to give them. Do I want to come and edit with me? Do I want to comment only on the presentation, or do I want to just give them view rights? So I can do that. I can also add an optional message also here. So this is how you invite somebody. That person would get an email, and as soon as that person clicks on that one, they can basically collaborate with you real time on the presentation. And you can, here is it where you share your presentation. Basically, if you're doing in a live session, you can, like how I did it, you can ask the audience to either scan the QR code or go to menti.com and put this QR code up there. But if you want to send the link for this, maybe before an event or something, you can just simply copy the presentation link and post it. So then the audience would automatically join to your presentation even before the session has started. And just so you know, this basically, this code that you have up top here on the presentation always, it expires in 2 days. But if you're sending, let's say, a survey or something, and if you want to have the presentation open for a long days, then you can extend it to either 7 days or 14 days. But if you want the responses window to be open more than 14 days, then the best way to do is to send either the link never expires, or the QR code. The QR code also never expires. So that is also one tip, basically, if you want to have the response window open for more than 14 days as well. Nice. I think I have covered quite a lot here. I don't want to overburden with you a lot of stuff as of now. So I'm going to quickly go into the, let's see where we were. And see if we have any more questions in here. No, there are no more questions. If you want, this is the right opportunity before it's too late to ask your question. You can even voice it over if you don't want to put it in the Menti here. If your question is too big, or if you're a bit lazy to put it there, just feel free to voice it over and I'll be happy to answer. We have
There is a
couple.
question in Zoom chat area. It's asked that the free version, what's the limit of it, and when it becomes necessary to use a paid version?
Yeah, so the free version, you have access to all the slide types in the free version, except for that you have a limit on the audience there. So there, the cap is 50 per month. So you cannot have more than 50 participants connected to your presentation in a month. It could be with one session, either you have 50 or you have in multiple sessions 50, but you have access to all the slide types even in a free license. But we have put the cap on the audience limit there. And you also cannot export any results if you're using the free version. So if your usage of Mentimeter is more than that, and if you use it more than 50 audience type, then you of course have to then upgrade to basic or pro. So in this subscription that we have at the university, we have a subscription for 50 licenses, and with the pro license. So pro is the highest category of where you have access to all the slide types, no cap on the audience, and all the functionalities such as export and everything there. I hope that answered the question. I'm not able to
Yes.
see the Zoom question somehow, so if you can voice it over, that will be great.
Yes.
Nice. Then we go on to the last question of our presentation, which is, after today's session, how do you feel about using Mentimeter in the future? And I'm again going to hide some right responses here and see what has it been useful for you, the today's session. Did you learn anything new? If you're really excited about using Mentimeter in the future, maybe starting from tomorrow itself. Let's see. I can put the QR code again if you've somehow lost it and if you want to scan it again. There are 29 people in the session, which is lovely now. I think it's quite more than what we started with. do I have to refresh it? Something? Is it? Is it really one people that have answered here?
Yeah, something is, I mean, we are not, at least I am not able to see this question coming to me. I don't know why.
Actually, for me, it came up to the first slide, so I had to answer all the questions again.
Aha, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I know now. Okay. I when I was in the edit mode, I think I changed it to survey. I'm so sorry. Okay, so you also got the look and feel of how survey looks like. You have to go one by one through every slide.
Yes, please.
I'm working from home today and my internet is a bit laggy for some reason. No worries, we're slowly gonna get there. Okay, it's extremely slow. I'm quickly gonna stop share here and I'm gonna see if that makes any difference. No, actually not. It's kind of very slow this moment, the internet. If there are any questions, feel free to voice it over to me until I have my presentation up and running again. But we're
Yeah,
also
I think the connection, it's not a problem with your connection, but maybe connecting to the server, the Menti server, because we can hear you well and everything is fine. So
okay.
your Zoom connection is fine. But
Hmm.
I've been able to connect to the Menti well from my side. So,
Yeah.
this is internet sometimes. It doesn't
Yeah.
behave the way you want it to behave. So,
Technology.
yes.
Yeah, I get it. But I hope you all got a good insight into what all is possible with Mentimeter and also a good insight into how you can begin your journey with Mentimeter. Mentimeter is a very intuitive tool, so it's no rocket science becoming masters with Mentimeter. It's very easy things. If you've ever used PowerPoint or any other Google Slides, it's very easy to become a Mentimeter user. It's just by some clicks there. It's all it's a very intuitive tool in itself, and it's very easy to use. I say it again. So yeah, feel
I
free to
would
give it a try.
I would agree with that. I used it recently,
Mm,
and it felt like any other presentation tool, except that you have these options of adding questions.
mm.
But it was very simple and intuitive.
Yeah, exactly. It's very
Mm.
simple and intuitive, and it brings a lot of difference in your sessions. And students get very excited. We have seen in the sessions when they they they're prompted to give their feedback, and when you have these quizzes and different question types that wants their honest feedback, because it's not always easy to basically say it out loud in the session. Some of the things that I showed you in the during the presentations of asking is, how are you keeping up with the course? It's not always easy to ask this sensitive question in the class, because not everybody would be comfortable responding to if they're not keeping well, or if they want some more some more support from your side. So it's tough from both the sides to ask these questions, but with a tool, an anonymous tool like Mentimeter, it becomes easy, I would say. I would, it is basically
It's
loading
not working for
still.
you, I guess. But I think we have
No,
covered everything.
it's loading, but it's a bit slow.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. So I would say that we would leave the last slide itself. It was just a feedback slide from you to see if you've learned anything new in this session. But rest assured, you'll get the whole slide from me and also the recording of today's session. So yeah, you have my email address. So if you have any problems with Mentimeter or anything new that you would want to learn, feel free to connect with me, or we also have a direct support channel also that answers your questions in real time also across the yeah. I have it working. Maybe I can give it a quick one last try, and then we change it to presentation mode, as simple as that here, and then
Yes, now it's okay.
and then I click on present here. I feel more confident. Nice. I feel very excited. One is I'm interested, but I need more time and support. Feel free to reach out to me, as I said, or to our support channel. And we also have a huge resource book. We have a YouTube channel. We also have a full help center where you have videos on every slide type. And we also have blogs and webinars already on our website that you can take inspiration from. And one person is still unsure if Mentimeter fits their work. So I would love to hear from their perspective as to what is missing from our side and what is missing in Mentimeter that makes you a bit unsure of that. On that note, I would say thank you so much for joining my session today. And these are some of the resources for you. And hope that you become Mentimeter users in the future and become some champions. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Shipra. So you said that you have these slides, you can share them.
Yeah,
So please,
exactly. I'm going to share with you, and then you can circulate it internally.
Yes. And the recording is with us, so we are going to just circulate the two together in a same email to everyone.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, and thank you for all those who have joined. And I hope it has given you good ideas beside how to use Mentimeter. I think this possibility of asking for anonymous feedback in the classroom, that sounds quite good. Beside the possibilities of engaging students. So I hope it will be a useful tool, and I wish everyone a good day. So thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.